you can decide who investigates you. That's kind of... And there you have it, folks. Andrew Cuomo was in a bit of a hot water. Now, obviously, this article didn't really, dare I say, investigate what really happened with Cuomo. And he gave out, like, I think 4 different statements because each one was worse than the last one. Anyways, it is not a laughing matter here because Andrew Cuomo apparently, and allegedly speaking, of course, is a predator. He preys on women, young women. And he's had, I think, 2 different allegations already. And this is not 30 years ago. This is recent allegations. And there was a tweet up by Cuomo when Brett Kavanaugh was being investigated, technically, for allegations about 30 years ago when he was in high school of unfounded and couldn't corroborate the evidence against him. It was just hearsay. So Cuomo acquiesces to demand that Attorney General Letitia James control the inquiry into his, dare I say, transgressions. Now, interestingly enough, he didn't grant that sort of, dare I say, leeway to Kavanaugh. It was like, well, he should go. Well, he let the FBI stop this, inquiry, stop the Senate trial or investigation. He should go to the FBI. It needs more. Just no vote. Okay, well, why? Why should we stop? Oh, because he's a Republican, or dare I say, could be a Republican, as Brett Kavanaugh, Judge of the Supreme Court. Continuing on here. So Cuomo denies inappropriate touching, says he was being playful amid allegations. Playful. You see, that's one of his statements that he put out that failed miserably. And so the Attorney General of New York, Letitia James, who in January released a report that claimed Governor Andrew Cuomo's administration drastically undercounted COVID-19, which everyone knew he drastically undercounted COVID-19 nursing home deaths in his state, will have full control over the sexual harassment inquiry that threatens his administration. I believe you and me, he won't see 1 day in jail over the nursing home deaths. He won't see any backlash, maybe from the right, but from the left, there'll be no backlash. None. James said Sunday that she expected to be granted a referral that would give her office subpoena power and allow her to deputize an outside law firm for a rigorous and independent investigation. Yeah, bullcrap. You know who she works for. She is a filthy goddamn Democrat, socialist, liberal douchebag. You really think she's really going to independently investigate her boss? Right. Senators Chuck Schumer and Kristen Gillibrand, both Democrats, filthy, god-awful, stinky, smelly, disgusting, syphilitic Democrats, allegedly, both from New York, call for investigative power to be granted to James so that she can conduct a transparent and thorough investigation with subpoena power. The Democratic Chronicle reported that Cuomo, at first, wanted to refer the issue to Barbara Jones, a former U.S. district judge who worked with one of his former advisors. After that idea was rejected, the paper reported that Cuomo wanted James to work with a judge that he appointed to help select an appropriate independent attorney to look into the matter. Over several hours Sunday, James and other leading party officials rejected Cuomo's proposals for how an investigation might proceed. Interesting that if you're accused of something and you're that boss or in his power, that you can decide who investigates you, that's kind of par for the course for a Democrat. and possibly other, dare I say, politicians out there. Says the paper said by 5:30 p.m. Sunday, the governor agreed to relinquish the power to James. Neither office immediately responded to emails from Fox News. Of course they wouldn't. Cuomo has been accused by a former aide, Lindsey Boylan, of orchestrating a, quote, pervasive, unquote, culture of, quote, sexual harassment and bullying, unquote. And he's been noted for that for many years. She posted on a meeting that Cuomo once suggested that they play strip poker during a flight in October 2017 and said he once kissed her on the lips. Why now is she not coming out back then? But now she's coming out now. Oh no. Boylan, a Democrat running for Manhattan Borough president, said that during her more than 3 years in the Democrats' administration, Cuomo would go out of his way to touch me on my lower back, arms, and legs. Charlotte Bennett, who is described by the New York Times as an executive assistant and health policy advisor in the Cuomo administration until she left in November, alleges that Cuomo asked her questions about her sex life, whether she was monogamous in her relationship, and if she ever had sex with older men. Yeah, what a freak. Cuomo's office denied Boylan's allegations. He said he never made advances toward Bennett, nor did I ever intend to act in any way that was inappropriate. The last thing I would ever wanted was to make her feel any of these things that are being reported. Cuomo issued a statement on Sunday to address the sexual harassment allegations, but even the statement was criticized as tone deaf by critics. At work sometimes, I think I'm being playful. Let me tell you something, boys and girls out there in last land. I've worked in the federal government for 20 years. Army is considered the federal government. At no time did I go, you know what, I'm going to be playful with some of my male colleagues. No. On occasion, I tease people in what I think is a good-natured way. I do it in public and in private. You have seen me do it at briefings hundreds of times. I have teased people about their personal lives or relationships, about getting married or not getting married. I mean no offense, and only attempt to add some levity and banter to what is very serious business. Like the serious business with all those nursing home deaths, but, no one in the media, especially on the left, decided to even remotely parse through the data that was right out in front of everyone. But you ignored it because he's a leftist, Democrat, socialist, piece of human trash. If he was a Republican or anything right, a Pol Pot, Lenin, Stalin, you'd be all over it. And if you thought that wasn't any good, just wait for this. Cuomo continued, I now understand that my interactions may have been insensitive or too personal, and that some of my comments, given my position, made others feel in ways I never intended. I acknowledge some of these things I have said have been misinterpreted as an unwanted flirtation. To the extent anyone felt that way, I am truly sorry about that. But one thing he didn't do was say he did anything wrong. Scandal is the second one that Cuomo faces, and James plays a central role on both. James said last month that nursing home COVID-19 deaths in New York were undercounted by as much as 50%, prompting calls for Cuomo to appear before the House Oversight Committee. A spokesman for Cuomo slammed the request as an empty political theater. Empty, you say? Interesting. What was funny about this, and it's not funny, I'm talking about his reaction to this thing about the nursing home deaths, was that, and I did a video about it, he said he didn't want to give the right numbers out because he didn't want Donald Trump using them for political ammunition. So by not wanting to use the nursing home deaths as being undercounted as political ammunition for Donald Trump, you use their deaths for political ammunition for your side. So that goes back to the point. It's okay if, and I'm talking about, as I say, if I was a Democrat, I'd say it's okay if we do it, but you can't do it. I see. In short here, Andrew Cuomo, whatever, is a piece of human trash. He's a garbage human. So is his brother. But besides that, Cuomo is just trash. He doesn't deserve to be anything far short of being dog catcher. He needs to go away. Unfortunately, the Democrat media, the biased media, has his back and will for the foreseeable future, unless the Democrats in whole have no more political use for him, which could also be the case.